Hi there. Really happy to introduce you to myself and four members of BU Evolution, which is an interactive online platform which I'm a part of now. And I've just invited four of the amazing teachers to come along. And I thought it'd be really nice if we just shared a little bit about who we are, what we teach, and where the passion or the drive to do the work that we do, where it came from. Like what was the why? What was the why? And how can what we offer benefit you in your life? So who would like to speak first? Camilla, I'm so excited to hear about your journey because I love what I've heard so far from Anthony. Would you like to share a little bit about where you live and what you do?
Yeah, okay. Oh, lovely to be here, Shakti. And I mean, I suppose my journey really started when I was 18, and that was my first kind of introduction into yoga. Signed up in those days, it was like adult education, and you went to the old, the night school college and signed up for my first kind of what do you say, like term, the autumn term of yoga. And I was absolutely horrified. It was like in the 80s. And there was just all these old people there. And I was like, it's the time of like Jane Fonda workout. And I was just like the youngest person and just thought, my God, what is my friend trying to do to me? But she could see, she was my oldest and best friend, and she could see that I kind of suffered from anxiety and stress. And hence she kind of suggested that I go to yoga. So I did like my first term, and it was many years until I went back again. I was about 32 when I began to take it more seriously, and that was through my addiction actually, and I went into AA, went into other fellowships, and then and a big part of like a 12-step program is spiritual, your sort of spirit, your connection to your higher power. And hence I started to get back into yoga again. And it was through that journey and just seeing how much yoga was helping me that I thought actually I'd love to go to India and just kind of discover more about this. So I did my first yoga vacation with the Shivananda in Kerala, and there I just was like, I just really would love to do a teacher training, not to be a teacher as many of us do in the yoga world. It's like, no, I didn't want to be a teacher. I just wanted to deepen my understanding. And then I kind of realized after that course that, yeah, I do, and did more training where I've met a few teachers who are in BU. Yeah, with Yoga London, Vinyassa Flow. And the yoga was brilliant. And I was kind of approaching my 50s, living in Brighton, teaching hatha mainly and vinyasa flow. But I was there was still this sort of depression that I was, that was just there. It was just like lingering. And I'd gone to, actually, it was not so much depression, but this like, yeah. So it was more like that, more kind of like an anger rage that was like always there. And I went to my doctor in Brighton and he was like, oh, yeah, antidepressants. And I was like, I'm not suicidal, I'm homicidal. There's something going on. And very much at that sort of time, obviously it was like to do with hormones, but they didn't. Anyway, that's another story. And I got introduced, I did a Kundalini training called Mastering the Addictive Behavior with Carolyn Cowan.
Oh, I know her.
And yeah. And it was through her and that training that something very profound started to happen. It was like happening not just to me, but things were kind of happening around me. It was like I could just feel this massive shift. And I was like, what is this? What is this? And it was just so linked. And hence, my journey. I mean, I did that training with her, but then I wanted to do a Kundalini yoga training, which I did. And then at the same time, I moved to Portugal, and it all sort of wasn't planned. It all just started to happen. And the next thing, I'm in Portugal, opening up a yoga center. But I mean, we built it from scratch, absolute scratch. Literally, we just had a hill with lots of stuff on it growing. And yeah, so we run like mini retreats. And I'm not teaching so many classes apart from online, which I miss. I do miss the physicalness, but sort of being on BU really has helped. Just to sort of start that process. And I'm looking forward to more students to really generate that energy that we get through Kundalini yoga. So so because we're very rural, we don't have a big kind of community around to kind of come to weekly classes. So they seem to be a bit more sporadic, like an event, and then I'll do like a Kundalini yoga in face to face. But that's primarily my journey, and and Kundalini just helps so much. It's just so prescriptive. It kind of cuts straight to it, and it's a great practice for this time. I mean, we knew there was going to be challenging times ahead. Didn't quite know what that looked like until recent events. So it's been a really amazing practice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love that story, and I so relate to the early 80s, or even it must have been the early 80s. I was first introduced to yoga, and I was the same. I'd just been a widowed mum, and I went to a yoga class, or even before that, maybe, I can't remember, but it was like everyone was really old, probably my age now. And but I went back to it, but I love the whole story. And what's so nice for me about BU Evolution, it's just us being here together. Like, you're such a lovely bunch of women, and we've got some male teachers as well, and it's such a lovely community, and all of us have been affected from our teaching practice and our teaching through COVID and the last 3 years. And so this is why we're here together as a collective. And although I'm teaching Pilates online to some of my ex-customers, I teach 3 classes a week to them, I was looking for community. I was looking for interactive, live, online community. So I was really, really excited to find BU Evolution and Anthony, and then to connect with you lovely people. It's been really great. So we're just I just thought it'd be really nice to let people know who we are and what we're doing, because at the end of the day, there are so many yoga teachers out there now, and there's so much on YouTube that to know someone's story and experience and the nuance of each teacher, because they say, don't they, that the right student will find the right teacher. So I just think it's all about just tuning in to the frequency of the teacher, and just feeling into which classes, and having a choice of so many classes. Which class shall I go to this week? And just click a link on the website, and suddenly you're with a load of other people doing a session interactive online. I think it's an amazing platform, and we just want to let people know about it. So thank you, Camilla. Really interesting, and we're all hoping to come over to Portugal to your retreat centre soon. Yeah, have the fires calmed down. Have the fires calmed down now, because there was some of the fire.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, we had a little bit of an alarm yesterday, but then today's been quiet, so that's good. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
Thanks. You. Who would like to speak next? I'm looking at Muna.
Sure. Hi. I'm not a yoga teacher. I work with energy and with the body. And as you said, before COVID, I was a bit like you guys, hands-on, active, working, mainly with body work. And then COVID came, and we all had to rethink about what we were doing in life. And I started so I moved from Malaysia 2 years ago. So that was still in Malaysia. At the time, I actually started doing a meditation group within my little international school community. And we had every week a guided meditation. And I found that by adding Reiki to it, it just enhanced the whole experience. And it was such a nice community feel that I think we all needed. We were all in our little apartments and houses and shut off. And this event brought us all together. And I was really, it left very fond memories and a great sense of community, as I said, for us, which then when we moved to the UK. So that's where I'm based, in Windsor. I'm in the UK. And, you know, you come to a new place, it's really difficult to establish yourself. So I find myself actually now working very little hands-on, maybe a little bit like you guys, you know, coming out of COVID, people are waking up to the fact that life is a little different on the other side. And although we can get out and do stuff again, it feels almost like we just had some fires. Everything burned down, and now we all have to kind of come back up again, you know, as little seedlings. And I feel like I'm doing the same thing. And so BU Evolution is great that way, because as you said, Shakti, I too was really looking for community and a group of like-minded people and doing things together. And because, you know, together we're stronger and we can bring energy together in a way that one person by themselves is probably more difficult, I would say. So I really enjoy being part of this group as well for that very reason, and also to be able to offer within this platform what I do. So I offer every Wednesday afternoon, 5 p.m. UK time, a meditation that's guided and it's infused with Reiki. And it's been really enjoyable to do this and to be able to do it regularly like this. And I will also be offering one-on-one Reiki, distance Reikis, which is something I do mostly now. So yeah, that's really me. And why? It's because, you know, I think we all need to realize that we need spirituality in our life. And, you know, religion is one thing, but spirituality is what links us all together. And for a lot of people, I think that's the missing link in well-being and health and feeling part of something, community too. And I think that's where BU Evolution is great, because you can find that there. You know, this is a community where you can find people who think similarly to you, and that's great. We need that. We need to belong.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Muna. Love everything that you said. Yeah, thank you. Cool. Lisa in New York. I love Lisa. I haven't got to all of your classes yet, I must admit, but I have been to Lisa's Women's Circle, and I just love Lisa. I love your energy and your big open heart and your hand shape signal things.
So, hello everyone.
Hello. Come very close to your microphone, lovely.
Okay, I'll come closer. So, what happened with me is, as a young child, I realized that I didn't always feel heard and seen. So I ended up becoming a speech and language therapist, and I love to work with children. I've also worked with adults, people of all different ages, and I just love expression. So along my journey, I also kept coming across self-growth and just kept opening up more and more. And I found that I couldn't always express myself to everyone because I would think that people would understand me, but then I realized they didn't get what I meant because they hadn't had the awareness and the openings that I had had. So I kept reaching more and more for different, people, and what we're talking about before with community, where I could be able to express myself more and have a space for people to also be able to express authentically and just really be seen and heard and be able to dive deeper with shadow work, inner child work, reparenting ourselves, anchoring the masculine, and just, feeling like we're so secure in our masculine that we can come out of our comfort zone and just fully trust our hearts and just keep opening up. And I kept feeling right before I ended up connecting with BU Evolution that I wanted to connect with some sort of company or something. I didn't really know what it was going to be. And it was going to be more, and I don't know if you know about spiral dynamics, but it was going to be more at the integral level and some spirituality, but everyone could be open to, whatever, any kind of beliefs they had. But it was the organization was going to have this level of development. And I kept going to this energy healer at the time who was doing tuning fork alignment on me. And all of a sudden she said, Lissa, something just, and I felt it, like something just opened up on my left side, my feminine side. And it was things that are left unsaid in femininity. And I was like, wow, like I feel like this totally opened up to allow more space to open up. And then Anthony had been doing integral relationship training with me, and he was, moving up the level with the spiral dynamics. And then all of a sudden we connected, and he said, oh, the woman's authentic sharing person stepped down. And I was wondering who I'm going to ask to, fill this position. And then my name popped into his head. Said, ask Lissa. And I said, wow, that's so amazing, because I just feel so aligned with this. And my vision is that for all those who are open to it, experience being fully expressed. So I'm very excited to be with you, Evolution, and with you here today. Thanks.
Oh, bless you. And what day do you do your session, Lissa?
So mine's Thursdays at 8 p.m. London time, which is 3 p.m. New York time.
Lovely. Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank
bless
you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Kirsty.
Hello, yeah, I'm Kirsty. I am a hypnotherapist and RTT therapist, which is rapid transformational therapy, developed by Marissa Peer. And I did smile actually when Camilla mentioned about the leotards and Jane Fonda and all that, because Marissa Peer actually started her career working for Jane Fonda in LA. And she came across many young women with all sorts of eating disorders, and it became her passion and mission to really want to help these women. So I was personally trained by Marissa, and the way I came across her was that she does have a fantastic YouTube presence. There's lots of content out there with her modality. And I also very interested in the great speakers like Gabor Mate, Bruce Lipton, Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I was really in search of, what is it I can really do and resonate with, which is going to equip me with the tools and knowledge to really be the educator and teacher that I wanted to be. Previously, my previous career was in teaching, in education and family support services. So I came across firsthand those adults, children, families that were facing all sorts of challenges and difficult circumstances. And I've always known that I want to help and support and facilitate and impart knowledge for these people to benefit and gain respite from their issues and challenges. But I never really felt that I was really making a big enough impact in people's lives. There might have been short-term help and respite. I mean, I've been doing things like baby massage and kind of toddler groups and all sorts of sports and dance groups, and I've kind of done a lot over my kind of career so far, but I just felt there was more I could be doing. So I had to overcome some of my limiting beliefs about what I felt I could achieve, and I managed it. I just thought, you know what, I want to do Marissa's training, because I really feel that once I am equipped with this information, I am going to be in a much better position to help people. Yeah. Because it's just so frustrating feeling helpless and hopeless when you're dealing with people facing challenging circumstances, and I felt that I wasn't quite hitting the spot. And I've been in search for the best way to do that. It's taken some time, but it's the right time. Everything happens in good time. We kind of go along this journey, and we need the experiences to kind kind of get us in the right place. And that was me, you know, my journey through my career through education brought me finally, thank goodness, to Marissa Peer and RTT. And it was an absolute delight to personally train with her. So yeah, that was the springboard for my career as a hypnotherapist. And I really feel that this has a massive impact. It really is where people can really turn things around, make positive changes, life transforming changes. And I've built up a lovely little bank of testimonials now, and it just gives me that real sense of purpose and fulfillment when I read these testimonials, when people have really made massive changes in their life because of they've come across me and they've given RTT a chance. You know, they've tried many things and things haven't happened. They've held these blocks and they've been stuck for a long, long time. And then they come across hypnotherapy, RTT hypnotherapy particularly. And then I get these amazing testimonials. Kirsty, you know, I'm doing this now, I'm doing that now, I've overcome this now. It just puts such a smile, such a beam on my face. And it's fantastic. So coming across BU now and running a short course on anxiety and stress is going to be also fantastic, because I can impart all my knowledge and my techniques and tools to really help people, impact people, to make those changes.
When do you do, thank you Kirsty, when do you do your session on stress and anxiety?
So that is on a Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. UK time. Wonderful. Every Tuesday.
Thank you so much. What an amazing journey. And I've got a friend that does RTT, and I know it is amazing. It's an amazing healing modality. Thank you so much. And just a little bit about me. I trained as a fitness instructor about 36 years ago, just after my husband died from cancer. So I was a widowed mum at the age of 25 with 2 children, 2 babies. And I went through, although I remarried, I went through a horror story. My baby was very ill. I just went through a lot of unimaginable trauma. And the only thing that brought me any relief at that time, before I had post-traumatic stress disorder, which came when I was remarried, when my system actually calmed down a bit. That's when my body reacted at that point. But I found the only thing that brought me a moment of peace in my system was when I was doing the aerobics class, and at the end of the session, we would lie down and do a 5-minute relaxation. And for split-second moments, my system started to relax a little. But I then remarried and I trained as an aerobics teacher, and I was doing one-to-ones, and I discovered that all of my clients that I was teaching, myself included, had underlying issues behind the wanting to get fit. So I was doing all these one-to-ones and teaching, and I realized that the emotional stuff was really important. And then I had terrible post-traumatic stress disorder. So every 6 months I was out for a few months, bedridden, and I would somehow find people to cover my classes until I was well enough to go back. But I then realized that really I was pushing my system far too much after about 5 or 6 years of teaching. And I trained in yoga and Pilates. I was the first Pilates teacher. I was the first yoga teacher that wasn't 80 in my local area. And absolutely loved teaching. Opened up the first Pilates studio in St Albans, trained my teachers up, and realized by the age of 49 that actually I was still having this eating, you know, my eating wasn't how I wanted it to be. I would go through periods of just feeling stressed, and these attacks of being worn out were sort of coming and going. And I realized that I really needed to take the stress out of my life. So I started traveling to Asia. I know not everyone can do this, but one of the things I was teaching was how to live the life of your dreams. I was coaching people in how to be you and how to express yourself and how to live the life you want. So I thought, I'm teaching this, I need to do it myself. So I was going off to Thailand and Bali every winter for 3, 4, 5 months. And my 50s were the most incredible decade imaginable. And throughout that time, I was studying authentic communication. I trained with Heart IQ, and I think found the missing piece for me in terms of, meditation was amazing, yoga was amazing, Pilates, sound healing, all the things that all the things that we all doing. And then I discovered the authentic relating and how to really, work, as Lissy said, the shadow work, and how to learn how to speak from the heart, and to be able to really speak and be authentic and be real about how I'm really feeling, because there is so much fakeness out there, so for me, that kind of completed everything. And then, of course, I shut my studio in lockdown. I thought, right, well, that's done. I want to be out there, and I want to be out there on the field, on the road, on the ground rather, fighting for freedom. And I suddenly became a sort of activist for what was going on in the world. And I thought, I really want to be part of a community. I want to do what I do. I teach online, but I don't want to go again doing my own thing on my own. I want to do it in a community. And I asked a few friends, let's do something online together. Let's do it as a community together. And nothing happened. And then, Anthony contacted me. He'd been trying to get hold of me for a couple of years, and he lives near me, and we met for coffee. And I thought, I really like the sound of this. Let's do this. And I've met you guys, and, I realized after speaking to you and going to some of your classes that you're really amazing teachers. And so I said, right, come on, let's get together. Let's tell people what we're doing, who we are, what we're about, what our passion is. And, we're all here for each other as a community, but we want to spread the word of what we're doing and bring more people into the sessions, because there's nothing quite like online interactive. As I said at the beginning, I just feel it's something special. And it's so lovely to be part of this amazing community with all you beautiful people. In fact, we could just all go to each other's classes as well, couldn't we? And just have a really lovely time. I went to a lovely sound healing session the other day with is it Jay that does the sound healing? And a couple of my friends were in her session. And I lay on the floor and I put a blanket over me, and I was listening to her doing this. And it was so nice having my friends and having a teacher there, because although I teach online, I've never been to an online session before. And so I thought, wow, this is I like this. This is special. So yeah. So thanks, guys, for coming and sharing. And at home, those of you listening to this, we'll put a link below. Whoever shares this video with you, reach out to them, fill out the website, put their email address, let people know how you found us, who you came in through, and come and join us for one of our classes. We've got a lot of interactive classes every day of the week, and we're here to serve you. We're here for humanity at this time. We've never, ever, I don't think, in the history of humanity needed more support than we need right now. So thanks for listening. Many blessings and lots of love from all of us at BU Evolution.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks, ladies. Bye.